Do you know who is the most successful investor of all time? Chances are that you will take famous names such as Warren Buffett or Peter Lynch. However, it is Jim Simons, a mathematics professor turned Wall Street legend, who founded the famous Renaissance Technologies and the super successful Medallion Fund. The hedge fund has an enviable track record of producing an annual return of 66% before fees over a period of 30 years, making it one of the most successful funds ever in history. Sounds incredible, right? But Simons, popularly known as Quant King, made this incredible feat possible with the innovative quantitative analysis method, employing algorithms to understand patterns in the stock market. So let's get to know about the early life of this phenomenon. James Harris Simons, or Jim Simons, was born on April 25, 1938 in Newton, Massachusetts, in a middle-class family. His dad owned a shoe factory and Jim was their only child. From a very early age, Jim displayed a strong inclination towards mathematics. From the age of 3, he started solving complex math problems. His parents, one day, were astonished to find him dividing numbers by 2 from 1024 onwards. Without realizing, this 3-year-old math prodigy had solved a mathematical paradox posed by the famous Greek philosopher Zeno. As a teenager, Jim started working in the basement of a garden supplies store. But he was so terrible at the work that the store owner demoted him to the role of a floor sweeper. When his supervisors asked him about his future plans, Simon said he wanted to study mathematics at the nearby Massachusetts Institute of Technology, or MIT. They scoffed and thought that the guy who couldn't remember where to put the sheep manure wanted to be a mathematician at MIT of all the places. Destiny, however, was favoring his path. Simon's parents wanted him to become a successful doctor. But Jim chose to pursue his passion for mathematics and successfully enrolled at MIT to study his favorite subject. While in college, he would be immersed in connecting formulae and cracking equations for hours at a stretch. One time, he saw 2 of his professors involved in an in-depth discussion about a math problem at a cafe late at night. He instantly realized that this was a life he wanted for himself. One that involved cigarettes, coffee, and math at all times. Jim earned a bachelor's degree in mathematics from MIT and joined the University of California, Berkeley, where he quickly got a PhD in 1961 at just the age of 23. His work during that time is considered to be the cornerstone of modern geometry. Simons knew he had to become a career mathematician, and so he chose academics as the way ahead. His stellar record ensured that he soon had a teaching job at his alma mater, MIT. After a year, he joined Harvard University, where his informal and humble approach to teaching was a big hit among students. However, in a couple of years, Simons was tired of teaching and the predictable way of life. He yearned for a fresh challenge. Luckily so, he found an interesting break in 1964 when he joined the research staff at the Institute for Defense Analysis in Princeton as a code breaker. Funded by the government, IDA hired mathematicians to help crack Soviet spy codes. In this position, Simons had a great time developing mathematical models to understand heavy data and patterns. He succeeded in creating a super-fast code-breaking algorithm that could attack special cryptographic problems. The CIA was immensely benefited by this model in breaking the Soviet messaging system. As a result, Simons became an overnight star at the IDA and the code-breaking community. IDA allowed its researchers to pursue their own research projects as well. Simons utilized this opportunity to crack a problem about area minimizing surfaces and higher dimensional analogs, for which he was awarded the American Mathematical Society's Oswald Veblen Prize in Geometry in 1976. Simons left IDA and became a chairman of the mathematics department at Stony Brook University in New York in 1968. Here, he worked with other accomplished mathematicians towards significant developments in quantum field theory and condensed matter physics. But then, he did something that changed his whole life. Always eager to try something new and different, Simons set his eyes on the stock market with the desire to make more money using his incisive mathematical skills. He decided to leave academia in 1978 at the age of 40 and founded a hedge fund management firm called Monemetrics. He realized that he could use mathematical models to recognize patterns and analyze financial data. To help him in the task, he recruited some of the best minds he had known from his stints at IDA and Stony Brook University, which included mathematicians, data modeling experts, code breakers, scientists, and engineers. He also invited an old friend from IDA, Leonard Bohm, to work with him as a partner. Leonard himself was a maths genius and the creator of the famous Bohm-Welch algorithm. Together, they felt that an algorithm-based predictive model would be extremely handy to monitor the financial market. This was the year 1979, way before the digitized era. They used to stick lots of paper graphs and charts over the walls in their small office in Long Island. The algorithmic approach immediately paid dividends in the currency market, and they started to make a lot of money. One day, while both friends were relaxing at a beach, Bohm suddenly sprung up, saying the algorithm signaled that the British pound will go up tonight. Wearing their swimwear itself, they rushed out to buy a lot of British pounds, which at that time was quite low. Neither of them knew a thing about British policies. But amazingly, the prediction did indeed come true, and the pound began to climb rapidly. Soon, the business was growing by tens of millions of dollars, and in 1982, the company was renamed Renaissance Technologies. Simons realized the importance of data early on. So, he bought a ton of books from the World Bank, data from commodity exchanges, and currency records from way before World War II. In order to match the historical data to the volatile current times, he purchased several costly computers that could not just store heavy volumes of data, but analyze all market movements to come up with patterns that could be applied to the present times. The team was able to come up with amazingly accurate live market prices, unseen or unheard of in the financial market ever. The mathematical models the company developed worked better and better each year, and by 1988, Simons decided to base the company's trades entirely on these models. His complete reliance on quantitative analysis and algorithmic investment strategies earned him the popular title of the Quant King, a maverick who revolutionized trading and made unprecedented waves on Wall Street. Simons spearheaded an innovative trend that was far ahead of its times. In the modern era, a predictive theory that is widely used in machine learning resembles his original method. Today, Renaissance Technologies manages $55 billion, and Medallion Fund, a black box strategy only open to Renaissance owners and employees, is worth $10 billion. For 30 years, between 1988 to 2019, Medallion Fund produced a stunning annualized 66.1 gross return, which means if you invested $100 in the fund in 1988, it would have become a whopping $408 million by 2018. Fascinating, right? The Medallion Fund has also crushed the benchmark S&P 500 stock index almost every year, losing money only once in so many years. It generated 76% returns in the year 2020, 98.5% returns in the year 2000, and 82.4% returns in the year 2008, creating all-time market records. Simons retired as the company's CEO in 2009 and became chairman of its board. In 2021, Forbes estimated the net worth of the 84-year-old hedge fund legend at $23.5 billion, making him the 24th richest person in the United States. He now dedicates most of his time to philanthropy. Along with his wife, Marilyn Simons, he founded the Simons Foundation in 1994, which has grown into one of the largest charitable institutions to focus on support of basic research in mathematics and the sciences. Simons is also the founder and chairman of Math for America, whose mission is to improve mathematics education in US public schools. The legend of Jim Simons will continue to inspire generations to come, and he will always be remembered as the greatest moneymaker of all time.